I know why you're here, you disgusting sicko. You're here to watch me struggle through Faction Wars Hard, aren't you? Well, we have some good news and we have some bad news. Faction Wars Hard is continuing. We have the Barbarian Crypt, the Orc Crypts, and the High Elves Crypts all open today. The good news, 2 out of 3 of these factions should be pretty easy. The bad news is the Orcs are also here. So, that being said, I don't have too terribly long to record. I have plans for after work, or after this work. So I'm going to have to go ahead and kind of skedaddle my way through this. As you can see from the Undead Hordes, I did manage to go ahead and get 1 star on the boss, 3 star the next 2 stages after in relation to last video. Go ahead and check out the community tab post of YouTube if you want to check out how I did it. And then Ogren Tribes, I'm just like hard stuck trying to get past the boss. It's not going to happen, people. Not right now, at least. So I'm going to build out stock at some point and then use him there. That being said, we're here with Barbarians. We have to clear the stage in 100 turns. We're going to go ahead and we're going to throw in, of course, Thor, because why not? Instead of High Katoon, we're going to bring in our Syl just to make sure that we can stay alive, plus a little bit of extra CC. Excuse me. We could bring Yakarl the Scourge actually as well instead of Turvold. I think that's going to be a good option. Now, this particular Thor doesn't really have any gear on him. He's naked from the waist down. So we're going to go ahead and throw my Carnage build on him, which is going to cost us 900,000 fucking silver, ladies and gentlemen. We're down to 10 million. This is like broke boy hours right here. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to put Freya in the lead. Bring Syl, Thor, and Yakarl. If you're trying to make this a little bit faster, you could obviously bring in War Maiden, who I actually just pulled a 6-star soul for, which is pretty cool. So I might have to end up using her inside Siege more. She's still got one of the nicest pairs of swords and axes in the game. Pretty good combination there. She's a very, very cool champion, certainly. Let's go ahead. Take a look at the boss. AoE on the A1 ignores 100% of each target's defense. That is fucking insane. A2 transfers all debuffs from him to all enemies. These debuffs cannot be resisted. Places a true fear. Cannot be resisted. Places a stun. Cannot be resisted. Grants an extra turn. This sounds absolutely disgusting so far. So we really just don't want to bring in too many debuffs. We have a reflect damage as well as a provoke. Pretty insane, as well as a pain link. So it's definitely going to be good that we're bringing in Syl, I think. Obviously getting some ally attacks in there with Farrakhan would be very good as well, in my opinion. The block debuffs from Freya as well as the cleanse from Freya is going to come in pretty clutch as well, I think. So let's go ahead and just steal everybody's turn meter. That Thor looks awfully slow. What is going on? Does he not have speed? Does he not have gear? What is happening here? Did I bring in the wrong Thor? No, I didn't. I didn't. Oh, no, did it? It put the gear on the wrong goddamn Thor. No. No. We wasted all that money. No. What the fuck? Let's try this again. 500,000. There we go. We put it on the right Thor this time. We put it on the right Thor, ladies and gentlemen. That is insane. I don't know how I selected the wrong Thor, but it is what it is. That explains why he didn't have too much gear on him. But yeah, I have 2 Thors. I only have really 1 of them built. So we're just going to go ahead and A1. We don't want to turn anybody into a sheep because that's just going to slow down our run. Let's go ahead and get the A2 up here. Let's go ahead and just AoE here with Yakarl. Let's go ahead and AoE with Thor as well. Get some wax out there. AoE with Syl. If we can get through each wave in like, 15 or so turns, that would be pretty good, I think. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and do this. I thought that stole buffs as well, but apparently not. We're going to have to go ahead and sheep just so we can remove the buffs. Now, let's go ahead and just absolutely blast everybody with Thor. So that's pretty awesome. And we get the AoE hit after. So that's going to help us take him down nice and quick. Freya's built for a little bit of damage as well. So we're at 15 turns on stage 1. Real quick call out. Channel memberships are live, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and hit the join button down below if you want to support the channel a little bit more than the average viewer, right? So you can go down there and you can pledge like $4.99 a month or something like that for the base tier. I'm going to eventually have a bunch of goodies that you can use, so like extra emotes and stuff like that you can use inside the chat on YouTube if I'm ever doing like a I forget what it's called, like a premiere event or something like that, where I'm premiering content. You can also go ahead and support for an additional amount if you'd like. But yeah, it's a pretty good way to support the channel there. So we're going to go ahead and hit the AoE. We're 30 turns in, a little bit longer than I was hoping for, but kind of is what it is. We get a stun there, which is perfect. We're going to go ahead and whack the sheep, take them out of the sheep form. Give them death, please, so that we can get on to the next stage here. That Ugyr does not want to die, my goodness. And now he dies. We're going to A1 with the Thor. Hopefully take him out. We almost do. Not quite, though. Thor is an absolute god-tier damage dealer, by the way. He is insane. So, cool thing about this particular boss is he doesn't have any minions, so we don't need to worry about, like, AoEs or anything like that. Let's go ahead and buff up here, though. Obviously, we're still not wanting to put too many debuffs on him. We're going to go ahead and hit the Fulminous Ricochet there with Thor. Obviously, the one thing that kind of sucks is he's going to take a lot longer to cycle now that we're on the boss, right? Because he's only hitting one enemy. We do have a Berserk buff. Or, well, it's technically a debuff, but I like to think of it as a buff on our Thor. We have a Provoke placed there on everybody, which is actually good, because that means that we're going to get... we're going to get Thor to cycle as A1. I don't know why I just forgot that for a second. It's nice that the Pain Link debuff is not protected. That would suck. I think it's Gizmak that places a protected one. And it, Thor, no! Thor! I don't have a way to steal buffs on this team. I can use, obviously, Armand's is A3. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We now have the A3 coming in from the boss, was it? No, A2 coming in from the boss. So he has a stun on him, which is annoying. We have the AoE defense ignoring skill there. Very annoying stuff indeed. I think we should be okay, though. I think we're clapping. We do have Freya's ability that's going to keep somebody alive with the highest crit damage, I think it is. So let's go ahead and just keep clapping the boss here. Keep clapping those cheeks. Steal the turn meter with Armands. We have 34 turns remaining, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this works out well. Let's go ahead and let's get the Fulminous Ricochet again with our Thor. 106k damage. Go ahead and A1 with the Armands. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming up to 30 turns left. I don't know about this. We might have to bring in some additional damage here. Your Carl might not be cutting it. We do have a Brimstone now, which is perfect. So that Brimstone is going to proc. We also have the Armands who's able to rip that buff off. That Brimstone is actually going to help us out a lot in terms of getting the damage out there. We do need Thor to activate his ability, though. I think that's really like the only way that we can manage this now. 79 turns down, 80 turns down. Let's just go ahead and keep A1ing with the Sill, pushing back turn meter. Let's go ahead and get the A3. Big hit there coming in from the Thor. Big hit indeed. If we can get a couple more of those, we might be cooking. I'm going to go ahead and buff up with the Freya. If we had an increased attack on this team, that would help out a lot as well. AoE, ignoring the defense. That's annoying. We get a counterattack coming in there from the Armands. Doesn't really do much. If we could get some big hits here from the Thor, that would be huge. Obviously, some big hits from the Yakaro would be nice as well. Go ahead and do this with the Yakaro. We have 91 turns taken, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be edging territory. We get some big hits from the Thor. We get Thor's activation. We're at 93 turns taken. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be it. 94 turns taken. Thor, we desperately need you to get another turn, my man. Another turn, please, Thor. Come on. Thor is going to get not stunned. There it is. We get a counter attack. Something. Oh, look at that. The Soul Reap coming in from Yakarl on the counterattack. That is clutch. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 99 turns taken. 99 turns. We had to beat it in 100 or less. That is absolutely insane. Literally 99 turns taken. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how we do it on Care Bear YT. That alone deserves a subscription. Go ahead and make sure to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Now, on to the downside. We have to place HP burns. So, we're going to be bringing in Kalia, kind of same as we did before. We're going to take out Thor, because obviously he is absolute god-tier cheek-clapping goodness. So, we don't really want him in here, because he's going to do damage too quick, and we can't really control when he does his extra hit with his AoE passive ability. And now, I know what you might be thinking. You're like, well, Care Bear YT, you can control it, because you know how many hits he's got. Well, You see, dear viewer, the thing is his A1 has a chance to randomly hit extra times, which you cannot control. So, you know, let's go ahead and cleanse. Get all this annoying crap off us. Let's go ahead and steal his turn meter. Let's go ahead and place some burns here. Hopefully we get, what, 2 burns placed? Yes, 2 out of 10. We are cooking, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get an AoE freeze as well. Why not? Why not? We'll bust out Cavalax. I was going to throw him straight back into the sheep, but that's okay. Excuse me. Gonna go ahead and buff up here. So here's kind of the cool thing, right? If you have Freya, you can really run like anyone in your Barbarians team because of the amount of support she brings. Like, I could confidently run War Maiden on these stages now if I ever had to place like decreased defenses or something like that, and it's going to be perfectly fine because I know that Freya's going to keep her alive, right? Combined with Syl and her healing and whatnot. And Freya, when built for DPS, can actually do pretty decent damage on her A1 as well. She has, you know, a decent multiplier for it, so that's something to consider as well. We may want Thor in here to do some extra damage, but it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and clap everybody down. We get the Soul Reap there on Yukaro. Such a clutch blessing. I think last stage is going to be like a good showcase for everybody on why you might want Soul Reap if you're not currently running it on your champions. We steal all the turn meter from them, so we're just cooking them on the turn meter placement. Now, Kalia takes a while to get back around to her skills. She does place the burn on the A1, though, so that's 3 burn placements, which is perfect. We've already been recording for 11 minutes here, but it is what it is. If I don't get to showcase all of the factions, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and take a look at their challenges and then talk about potential champions that I'm going to use for it, just so we can kind of discuss that. And then, as always, I'm going to go ahead and share on the community tabs of YouTube how I actually beat the stages. So again, people, make sure that you are subscribing to the channel. We're pushing for the 2,500. I'm mentioning it so much today. I am now one of those annoying YouTubers that won't shut the fuck up about subscribing to their channel. It is what it is. We still only have 3 burns placed, though. Bit of a shame. You can obviously bring Farrakhan the Fat for this. He's actually a very, very good option as well. Because he has burns on his A2 and it's like 100% land rate. And then obviously if you have some sort of a debuff spread or something like that, which I don't even know if there is one in the faction, but yeah, you can spread them around. Go ahead and try to land the burn here. We don't get it, unfortunately. I don't know why I chose the one that she was weak affinity to. That wasn't very smart in hindsight, but let's go ahead and freeze the Duchess. Decrease speed on the Duchess. We're going to go ahead and let them take a turn so that the burns kind of expire there so that, you know, better chance of placing the next burns. I don't think that's how it works, but anecdotally, at least that's how it works. So let's go ahead and try another A1 on the Magnar. Not a weak hit, but she just wasn't able to land it. Now we'll go ahead and take their turn meter, stun them, all that sort of good stuff. AoE here. Go ahead and get this. Neither of them have a burn at the moment, so if Kalia can get a turn, we can probably place a burn, but I don't think that's going to happen. We're just going to keep A1 cycling here until we get to the next wave. Boom. Everybody is down. Everybody got clapped. I smell smoke outside, which is not good because where I'm at right now, we are under kind of like a watch or a warning. We're not really like in immediate danger at the moment, but there's the possibility at some point that people, like not you know, specifically where I am. And where I am is perfectly fine, but around me, shall we say, more specifically, around me, there's like a lot of wildfires raging right now. So there's fire bans and everything like that in effect at the moment, and yeah, people are needing to evacuate. People are losing their homes. It's craziness, man. It's craziness. And then, of course, you have like the conspiracy theorists that pop up on things like this too, which is always kind of funny to look at. We have 5 burns placed so far. Let's go ahead and steal the turn meter here. Let's go ahead and steal everybody's turn meter, because why not? That sounds like a fantastic idea. Tarshawn, you know what? You're going to go ahead and you're going to get a sheep. You're going to catch a sheep, sir. That's what you get for resisting my turn meter steal. You could have stayed as a human being, but now you are a sheep with its cooldowns increased anyways. That's what you get. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. He resisted again. He hasn't learned. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Let's go ahead and hit Hegemon. Hopefully place a burn. We don't place a burn. I don't know why we would. Don't know why I was even hoping. Let's go ahead and steal everybody's turn meter again. You know, I won't lie, I've kind of started to like the strategy that when you're using Armands, you essentially just keep the enemies alive instead of turning them into sheep, because then they basically just work as like an infinite turn meter farm for Armands. Like, for example, we could be targeting the weaker, like, Hegemons and stuff like that here, but why do that, right? Like, we can just keep them alive. We can steal their turn meter, because Armands doesn't steal turn meter from sheep, right? So, you know. Sepulcher we may have to sheep, though, at some point, if she doesn't get turn meter controlled here. Which she doesn't. So, yeah, we are going to go ahead and sheep her, because worst case scenario, she places, like, the block debuffs on everybody, which would be annoying as hell to deal with. So there we go. We got some extra burns placed. We're at 8 burns placed now. We're going to go ahead and hit an AoE here. We're going to hit an AoE with Freya. Everybody's getting clapped. Tarshan and Hegemon are about to get killed as well. Let's just go ahead and keep clapping here. Both of them sit down. Come on. Give us the burn on the A1 there. It doesn't happen, though. We're going to go ahead and just keep clapping with A1s here. I hope Kalia does proc the burn on her A1. That would be quite nice. We may not even get around to her. There we go. She decreased the cooldown, which is nice. So hopefully we'll have her A3 available more quickly, sooner. There we go. Fucking Foley, you're just going to go ahead and catch a sleep, my man, because I don't want to risk you block reviving somebody or something crazy like that. Let's go ahead and buff up. Kalia does have her burn back now. We're going to go ahead and place it. We now have the 10 burns placed. We can just focus on clapping everybody as quick as possible. It is the clapping, ladies and gentlemen. The clapping is here. Boom. AoE Foley doesn't get frozen somehow or another. Let's go ahead and hit him with Syl. There we go. Decrease a fuck ton of turn meter. Heal reduction AoE. We're going to get turn meter steal AoE. On another note, here's something to talk about, right? And I'd love to hear comments down below. I have, like, a hiatus against Disney because I was not a fan of how they were just absolutely butchering the Marvel franchise and making, like, so many terrible shows, and they were all basically mandatory reading if you're trying to watch the movies and all that stuff, right? And I'm far from alone in that opinion. And then I also kind of took that hiatus, and when I say hiatus, I mean like I'm actively choosing not to watch anything made by Disney these days. So, you know, I'd be curious if anybody else is doing the same thing. I don't know. It's probably just me, honestly, on that front, because I'm voting with my dollar, right? I'm voting where it hurts. But, yeah, so I'm doing that, and I was actually doing kind of the same thing with Netflix for a while, too, because, you know, their selection of stuff was just absolute booty cheeks. But I was taking a look at the stock market recently, and I noticed that Netflix is hitting like all-time highs with their stocks. And I was like, well, what the hell is going on here? And then I used my roommate's Netflix to go on there and actually look at what they got going on. And holy shit, they are actually like doing some crazy things in terms of like the shows they got going these days. So for quite some time, I've been wanting to watch The Rookie, which is now on Netflix. Yellowstone is on Netflix. They have like the John Wick franchise on Netflix. It's crazy how much stuff they got on there. It's pretty wild. We have to place stuns on this stage. So obviously Armands is going to allow us to just giggle all the way home with this. I think it was like 10 stuns we have to place. Easy peasy. If you don't have Armands, another fantastic option is going to be Syl. So we have 2 stunners inside here. So we're going to go ahead and steal turn meter, place the stuns. Then Mr. Annoying Ass over here is going to take those stuns off. Then we're going to remove the buffs. Then we're going to go ahead and buff up. Then we're going to go ahead and AoE freeze. Then we'll just like decrease speed or whatever with Thor. Doesn't really matter. We're going to hit Elva. Decrease our turn meter. Syl, I need you to place some stuns here. We do get some stuns with Syl. It's 15 stuns that we have to place when we're already at 6, so that's perfect. We're going to go ahead and steal turn meter here, get some more stuns across the board as well. We're now at 8 stuns. Jingwan is going to be the first target. Same kind of thing. We're going to go ahead and essentially just keep everybody else alive as a farm for our Mons and for our stuns. We're not necessarily wanting to steal turn meter here from them, though, because I do want them to cycle their turns so that we can get more stuns on them, but we'll see, we'll see. Beauregard, I think this guy's called, the little dwarf over here. He's super annoying. I also kind of find it, like, I don't know if cringe is the right word, but the way female characters stand in this game when they're stunned is just wild. It's wild, man. Like, what the fuck is Elva doing? Like, that's crazy. That's like some anime bullshit right there. But it is what it is. So yeah, we have 8 stuns placed so far. Honestly, we're just going to go ahead and clap everybody. We're just going to place some stuns on the next wave. Why the hell not? We do have Jingwan here, who's still going to be an annoying little twat, though. So we do place all the stuns, though. We're at 12 stuns placed already. We're going to sheep Jingwan, take the buffs off everybody else. You already know the strats, ladies and gentlemen. You already know the strats. It didn't change from the last wave, right? We're still here. We're still here. Get the decreased speed on everybody. Burst him out of the sheep so that we can clap him a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and get that AoE and place some stuns. Syl, you absolute beauty, coming in with 4 stuns of her own. That is insane. Let's go ahead and try to take out Jingwan here. We don't quite do it. We do steal his turn meter, though. Now we're going to take everybody's turn meter again. We're going to cycle our turn with our Mons. We're going to go ahead and just A1 into the Elva just to make sure she can't revive, worst case scenario. A1 with Freya. A1 with Yakarl. Screw you, Jingwan. You are such an annoying champion. Never thought I'd hate him this much until I actually started playing against him inside Faction Wars, but my gosh, he is an annoyance, certainly. Let's go ahead and AoE here, get some freezes out there, get a Soul Reap. Let's go ahead and A1 on the Beauregard here. I could have A2'd, but, you know, no real reason to do that. Let's go ahead and just A1 spam until we get them down. If we get A1 spam with Thor, that would be perfect because of his extra chance to hit and whatnot. There it is. Look at that. That was like 3 hits. He's crazy. He's crazy. Let's go ahead and steal turn meter. We got a Jingwan on this stage as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we already know how to deal with him. AoE, turn meter, steal. Sheep him. Steal the buffs from everybody else. Come in here with a freeze and turn meter steal there. Let's go ahead and boost up as well as block debuffs. Let's go ahead and just absolutely clap everybody because Thor is a goddamn beast, ladies and gentlemen. Over 2 million damage dealt. That takes us up to stage 9 with the Barbarians. Barbarians are done, dusted, good to go. We're at 21 minutes into the recording. I am not going to be able to showcase the Orcs faction, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. We have stages 7 through 9 active for the Orcs, so let's go ahead and take a look at what they actually have for challenges. So Orcs, stage 7 through 9. Obviously, clear the stage in 100 turns is fairly simple. Just do big damage. I imagine that somebody like a Seer is probably going to help out with that. Place 15 plus provokes and place 15 plus stuns is what the Orcs are looking to do. Let's take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. If we're taking a look at debuffs, we're taking a look at provokes. We have Sandlash Survivor with the A1, and we have Duke the Pierce who can place it on his A3. Obviously, we're probably going to end up just running R-Tac in a provoke set. Stun set, same kind of thing. We're running R-Tac inside a stun set. We do also have Tuhawk, who is a champion that I talked about recently, who's actually pretty good. So he has a stun for 2 turns on a 75% chance with no books in him, which is pretty crazy. So that's going to be the Orc teams that we use to do that. For just the big damage getting through stage 7, I'm going to have to see. I don't know if I can do it. We have Varl, obviously, that we could build out as well, so he's a very decent Orc champion. But we're going to go to stage 4 of the High Elves. And now over here, ladies and gentlemen, we need to reduce enemies' HP. So what does that mean? That means we need big numbers indeed. So let's go ahead and take a look at the preset manager here. Let's go ahead, and you already know we're going to pull over the build that we just had on Thor. Another 550,000 silver, ladies and gentlemen. You love to see it. And then we're also going to bring in Tyrell so that he can do a decreased defense there and just make it a lot easier for us to get through these enemies. Let's go ahead and bring in some speed boots here as well. Some 5-star speed boots on the Lysandra is going to be perfect. Let's see if we have a Feral ring to throw her in. Feral is an absolute god tier set, by the way. Everybody here should have gear. Neldor's built. We have Tyrell's built. I'm really wanting to look at Illusinia at some point, but, you know, we'll see if I actually get to build her. And then, of course, my Arbiter's built as well. So let's go ahead and run through this. We're going to have to place decreased defense with Tyrell. Good thing is well, not really a good thing, I guess, but let's go ahead and just do this crack shot on Ugo. That does actually count as 1 activation. We're going to go ahead and get the AoE decreased speed here, hopefully. I was going to say, though, that a good thing is our Supreme Elhain is, of course, a Void Affinity champion, so it doesn't really matter, you know, what stage we're on or whatnot. She can just go ahead and clap everybody. Like, look at this. Absolute clappage. We have 4 out of 6 claps done. We're going to go ahead and just A1 spam here. reduce some of those cooldowns a little bit. You already know the strats. You already know the strats. She just claps them on the A1, though. Absolutely insane champion. Let's go ahead and push back on the Slixus. Unfortunately, we get resisted. We're going to go ahead and try and clap the Slixus. There we go. So we do reset the cooldown of the A2 there. Or no, sorry, we don't. I'm just being silly. Let's go ahead and steal turn meter from him. Let's go ahead and stun him because I don't want to have to deal with, or decrease his turn meter, I guess, rather. Don't want to have to deal with all the bullshit he's going to bring, so let's go ahead and do that. This is kind of annoying where they're actually getting turns. It's also kind of sketchy because they're doing some big numbers. Let's go ahead and hit the AoE here, though. We almost take everybody out. We do get a counterattack there with her as well, which means that we have completed the challenge. Let's go ahead and push back here. We don't get the pushback. I really just hope... There we go. We get the freeze. I was going to say I really just hope that we don't have to deal with his block debuffs. That would be quite annoying. Let's go ahead and whack into the Man-Eater here. Take him down. A1 here on the Ugo. Almost takes her out. Deldor does go down, unfortunately. But never fear, ladies and gentlemen, because Syl is here. So we're going to go ahead and just keep turn meter cycling here. A1 on the Ugo. We're going to go ahead and just keep turn meter cycling. I hope we get back around to the Arbiter, though it is very possible that we don't. However, next wave, she can revive if needed. That being said, though, we do have the revive available here, so we're going to go ahead and do it. His A1 will be kind of annoying, but yeah, it is what it is. He doesn't kill us, so we're thankful for that. Let's go ahead and just keep clapping here. There we go. We get through that pretty easily. And we don't have like a Torment or anything to deal with here, so that does make our job a little bit easier, certainly. Let's go ahead and whack the Ramen too. We almost take him out, as simple as that, which is pretty crazy. We do take him out with the Neldor. We're going to steal from the Slixus. We're going to go ahead and get that AoE defense break. Try turn meter push back here. We do get it. That's perfect. And now, I think we should be able to just blast them down pretty effectively here. Let's go ahead and do this on the Slixus. There it is. We just have Loriaka and Ugo left. Double check. Yes, we have met the requirements. We're going to go ahead and do this. Lysandra is such a beast, too, with her ability to throw back debuffs to the enemy, right? Like, that's so underrated, in my opinion. We're going to A1 here. I don't even think my Supreme Elhain is mastered out, but I could be wrong on that. I probably am wrong. There it is. Tyrell gets the final hit, and we're on to the next stage. So we're on to stage 5. Manipulate buff or debuff duration 20 plus times. This one might be a bit of an interesting one. So we're going to go ahead and do increase buff duration. We have a couple of champions that can do it. We're going to do decrease buff duration. A couple of champions that can do it. Oh, stun. Not have any active buffs. AoE, 75% chance. Increases the duration of all increase defense buffs. We don't really have increased defense, though, on this champion. We don't really have anyone else that can bring increased defense, I don't think, do we? Mr. Apothecary, are you built out with lasting gifts? You are, so that could certainly help us. Let's go ahead and throw another helmet on him. Why are you missing a helmet, sir? Perfect. So him with lasting gifts could be pretty solid, so I think maybe we'll bring him instead of Arbiter. You know what? We'll actually bring Arbiter instead of Tyrell as well. So let's go ahead and do this. We do have to manipulate them 20 times. Lasting gifts does count, by the way, if you're not familiar. So let's go ahead and do this. And my Arbiter, as a matter of fact, might actually be in lasting gifts as well. So let's go ahead and see if we can get some manipulations here. We have 3 out of 20 manipulations so far. I think we're probably going to be able to do this with just the Apothecary, but we'll see. We'll see, obviously. Let's go ahead and do this. Boost some more turn meter here. Let's go ahead and A1. Let's go ahead and A2 with the Elhain. We're not getting much clappage here, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't have the decreased defense or anything like that. We're going to steal everything from him. I'm going to go ahead and A1 here. We only have 3 manipulations so far. My Apothecary is built decently fast, though, so there's a chance that he can, of course, cycle back around. Increasing... Eric's got a turn, so that's not good. Let's go ahead and take out Supreme Elhain, bring in Tyrell instead for a bit more CC. there's not really like a god tier CC champion inside this faction. So that being said, we are at 29 minutes recorded. We're going to go ahead and take a look at stage 6 for the High Elves as well, and just see what they have for challenges there, and then we can kind of talk about that. So place 10 plus stuns from the High Elves. Well, let's see who's capable of doing that. Go faction, High Elves, debuffs. We're looking at stuns here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have many options. So we have Andrysia, who has it on her A2. Very good land rate. We have Tyrell, who has it conditionally. But we do also have Fencer, who has just a straight up, like, 100% chance placing a stun, which is pretty crazy. Stealing turn meter if the stun's not placed. So she's a very, very good option. She's War Maiden, but better, ladies and gentlemen. I did an entire video talking about that. We've been recording for the allocated 30 minutes, though. So I'm going to have to go ahead. I'm going to have to bounce. Like I say, I will share the teams that I used to beat this on the YouTube section there. You know what I'm talking about. Real quick as well, let's go ahead and pop a relic craft here and see if we can get something good. We get Journal of Necrotos. It's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys all so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time.